Welcome to the Piper Academy Show. I am your host, Army Piper. We come at you live every Monday through Friday. Time for you guys to markets, charts, and everything that you need to make money in this crazy world, because knowledge is profit, and we're going to give you that knowledge every day. Guys, I don't do this show by myself. I got a great lineup of assistants here. My team, OC Guide, Trade Fly. Let's go ahead and bring them up on camera here. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What is going on, man, dude? I had the double sound going on. I went in, I just checked, and it was like it's still muted, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah,
anyways,
it was on my it was on my end over here, man. I apologize. We had a little bit of a
I was like, "You're messing." I was like, "What is happening
today.
right now?"
Yeah, we had a little bit of a late start. Setups here today. What's that?
All right, so I said I'm getting a lot of like double like back and forth right now, but anyways,
right now you are.
It's good to be here. Yeah, a little bit, but it's all right. I'm gonna work through it. Being a pro, right? All right, so
that's what we do. That's what we do.
Great to be here. I got up a little early today. Got all my work stuff knocked out, so got nice and prepped for the morning show because I am excited to be here. Want to interact with you guys, get this going. So that's what I got. Let's get this party going.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I think all the sound issues are solved now because I had to go in and mute the back loop playing on my computer because I monitor there to make sure we have audio. So obviously we do have audio because we heard it twice today. So
yeah.
Oh, see, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? We missed you yesterday.
Thank you guys. So sorry for being missing here. I'm just coming from the dead. Just have a little bit of a rough week, but I'm back, and I plan to not let you guys down.
Hey, brother, you can never let us down. If you got to take a break, sometimes you got to take a knee, drink water, face out. You know. Here, let me get you a little hard action going in there. See if I can get that going. I don't know if it's going to work or not today. Nothing's going to work right today at all.
Might work.
Maybe you got it there, Trade Fly. There you go. Trade Fly's got you, OC.
Ooh,
So
nice.
guys, in the news today, we got quite a bit of stuff coming in on that end. We got the IRS. If you guys don't know about it, we're going to be diving into that. You guys remember that 10K reporting obligation law that was passed, started on January, with the IRS? Yeah, that may or may not be a thing anymore. We're going to take a look at that. Also, we've got the SEC versus Coinbase court starts today, and we've got some economic news that just came out today, so we might be seeing some movements on the charts. Yesterday, TradeFly pointed this out to me. TradeFly, your name is even gone, bro. Where's your name at on here? I'm gonna have to fix all this later on. I know, like there's no TradeFly on here. We had this thing yesterday where I called a resistance point for Bitcoin. TradeFly pointed it out to me, and he said, yeah, you pretty much almost hit that. I was like, yeah, I went back and saw that. I was like $30 off. So my apologies on giving you guys a call at 43,600 and it only made it to like 43,570. I was $30 off on a multi-$1,000 asset. So I appreciate the love. Hey, you know, I'm horrible, man. I'm horrible. Let's go ahead and get over into the news though, guys. Let's see here. Hey, look, it's us. We're live. And paused. All right, looking at the crypto bubbles here for the past day, guys. We got Render up 11.9%. Tau coming in at 15.9. Link up about 8.3%. Beam up 14.7. What else we got here in this world of the beautiful cryptos? Near up 3%, SCI up 4.9. A lot of movement. Yesterday, pullback. I said sometime around noon. I suspected that we would see a nice little flip there. Noon on East Coast time, like right lunch, I said. And that's about what happened. About 11 to 12 o'clock over there on the East Coast, we started to see that reversal. Went up, hit some resistance, and then pulled back. But a lot of stuff, a lot of these altcoins still doing good for the day compared to yesterday morning. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how good they've done. Let's give a refresh on here so I can get this most current data. There we go. Bitcoin down about 0.4% the past hour right now. Down 1%, well, 0% for the 24. It just changed on us. Ethereum down about 0.1% for the past hour, but still up for the 24, up 6.9% for the week still. Tether, not losing peg, which is a good thing. Let's go, Tether. We like we like to see it not depeg. BNB sitting there about neutral at 0.2%. What else we got here? Solana's still down today. Let's go. Well, it's up 5.1% for the day, down 1.2 for the past hour. I should point that out. Let's see here. Cardano down for today. Chainlink tearing it up right now, 7.8%. Shout out to my Link Marines out there, up 15.3 for the week, 7.8% for the daily, up 0.4% on the hourly. So let's take a look at the liquidation game here. This is your liquidations. Let's go into here and let's see. With the past 24 hours, we've had 40,357 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $110 million. $0.7 and then the largest single liquidation, here we go, double of yesterday, no more threes for you there, TradeFly. $7.3 million on a single liquidation. So it's horrible.
I don't even, what were they even doing? Were they going long or short? I can't even figure it out on this one because
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was one of these. Maybe it was one of these short long liquidations here. Short liquidation. I don't know. It could.
What are you doing,
it's hard telling.
Like, doesn't make any sense.
It's at the end of the day, someone wasted $7 million. So
yeah, they did.
I still haven't figured out if that is pocket change. I still haven't figured out if that is the entry amount. Did they go in on a leverage trade with 7 million, or is that the total asset value, total value? Like, is that 700 whatever thousand on a 10x?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But still,
I'll do some research in the background. I'm on it.
A lot of money. Looking here at Trading Economics, guys. Yesterday I said, hey, retail sales coming out. I'm going to refresh you guys' memory on this conversation. I said, right now, the consensus is that retail sales would be up. But this forecast, if it comes in below, if this came in at like 0.2, this would mean that retail sales was slowing down. And that would mean that that would be a good thing. But if it came in and it was up, that would be showing that we had this, that demand was not dropping at the same time that we have the inflow route, the shipping, transportation, inflow of goods, also having issues at the Suez Canal and all that stuff. And so if we had that would be a bad combination for inflation. And that's kind of what we had here, guys. It actually came in double of what we saw here. And I do believe we're actually seeing some price action on the Dixie. I'm going to look real fast on my own chart here. Yeah, Dixie getting a pump off of that info. That's why it's getting that, because this reads as inflation when we have the inbound goods that are being shipped in, imports, slowing down. We already know that that's happening over there. And then we also have demand for retail sales going up. So supply and demand, that is inflation, folks. Let's get over here and we'll see what's going on with the FOMC, because we've had some changes here, guys. This is the FOMC rate cuts, rate hike, all that. It's all tracked here by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group. And they have this nice little chart here that can tell us what everyone is betting on pretty much. And so right now, as of January 31st, that is the next FOMC meeting. They are saying right here that there's a 2.6% chance of a rate cut. That's what this easing is right here. And then 97.4% chance of no change. And I think that's exactly how that's going to play out. However, when we look at March is a almost 60% chance of a rate cut. There's not one for February, just so you guys are tracking. If anybody goes, what happened to February? Not one in February. 59.1% chance of a rate cut in March. 40%, 41%, we'll call it, chance of pause. That means no rate cuts, no rate increases, okay? I don't think this is going to play out. I think as we get closer, this is going to go down and no change is going to come up. And this little bar here, going to go down. This little bar going to go up right here. So I think that's what's going to happen there. May is the first time that we definitively get into a realm of rate cuts. And this was, I want to point this out, this was 99.7% chance of a rate cut in May yesterday. It is now 92.8%. So keep an eye on this, guys. This is slowly coming down here on May also, and I just wanted to point that out. So, earnings reports for this week, guys. Right there. We got today, Wednesday, bunch of bank stuff. U.S. Bank Corp, Charles Schwab, Discover, Alcoa, Wintrust, H.B. Fuller, Citizens Bank. A lot of bank earnings this week. Given so, if you're in those stocks, if you're in any of those banking sector investments, just be watching out for that volatility this week. All those earnings reports coming out. And let's go ahead and jump over here to X. So Coinbase, SEC, set to face off in federal court over the regulator's cryptocurrency. Guys, just so you're aware, this is starting today, and this is going to be a huge win. So what this is, let's just go to Trio Cam. We can talk about this. What this court case is, guys, is this is where SEC said that Coinbase was selling securities, which was like Cardano. Help me out here with the list because my brain's, Matic was on that list. Yeah. Polka Dot. Yeah. So you guys remember all that when it was all listed as securities, and then Robinhood dropped it and quit carrying it and all kinds of stuff. Right. Mm-hmm. This is the court case that's starting today on that, that filing by the SEC. So this could be, I don't think we're going to see anything in the ballpark of when Ripple, got their major punches against the SEC by the judge. I don't think we're going to see anything like that break out on these altcoins, but it would definitely be bullish information if a judge comes out and says anything in the realm of what the Judge Torres said with XRP and Ripple. So keep an eye on it. This is important stuff. Just go in and keep watching all day long. If you see anything on this, or you set your alerts for levels of resistance and you start getting breaks there, probably go check X. It might be something with this court case. I just don't think we're going to see a very massive breakout. So, guys, thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you. I think the move was with XRP, right? That was kind of the line in the sand. That's kind of when we figured out if things are going to be securities or not. And at this point, after the ETF, BlackRock's on their side, Grayscale, all the big players are rolling with Coinbase at this point. Like, let's be honest, like those entities are going to have ties to the government, and that's going to play a part, I think, in this case. So, what I see is likely is that this case is not going to go anywhere, and all of those coins are going to end up back on Robinhood and some of the other, big exchanges. So that's personally what I think at this point. Just personal opinion.
Right. OC, what do you think?
Well, I do actually agree with you guys, and I believe the same output. But let me just kind of like get outside my comfort zone, and you said like just in case things go south and things start moving and rolling, they could be taking this opportunity to start calling some heads out. Like for example, taking and picking what kind of coins it could be, being allowed and what kind of coins might not being allowed. Basically, just giving kind of like an example of what you should and should not be doing. But I mean, other than that, I do see just like Trayflies said, hey, we got you back, brother. Yeah. Now I know what your name. Now I finally recognize you. Yeah, and I mean, at the end of it all, I just believe that just like Trayflies said, it's not gonna get anywhere actually. But if it does, it will be kind of like a guideline or manual to start now and start thinking on what kind of coin you're gonna be making if you wanted to get as or listed or not as a security.
Yeah, one of the discussions I think could come up is proof of work versus proof of stake, right? I think that is one discussion that might actually come up in this case, and I would be very interested to hear their thought on that one.
Yeah, I would too. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it today, guys. I think that we're going to be seeing some news come out on this, and it could create some volatility. But my hopes and prayers are with Coinbase. I want them to destroy the SEC. That would be my goal. let's get back into some more news. Unless either one of you guys got anything.
No, nothing more on this. Yep.
Cool. Guys, let us know in the chat. What do you guys think is going to happen today with this? Is it going to take a while? What's your thoughts on all of this information coming out? Let's jump back over here into what else we got here. This is from Bitcoin Hyper, guys. If you guys don't follow Bitcoin Hyper on YouTube, he's a really good TA analyst. He doesn't post a whole lot, but he did this on over here on X, and he said this is wisdom right here. To get profitable in crypto trading, your mindset needs to change. It's not about constantly chasing profits. It's also about protecting what you already have and shifting your focus from I will make money to let me manage my risk first. It can change your results big time. So I saw this yesterday. It kind of inspired me. I just wanted to share it with you guys. Inspirational words from Bitcoin Hyper there. There's a little thing from the Kabisi letter, guys, talking about that skyrocketing cost of shipping. And over the past 6 weeks, global freight rates are up 120%. This is getting into the range of what we saw in 2021, 2016, 2012. 6 month change percentage, absolutely phenomenal, up 6 weeks, 120%. So I talked to you guys about this yesterday. This is going to come out in the price of goods. That is going to equate to inflation, especially with that retail sales still being up. And if you guys ever wonder why, when I'm going to get my Lambo, you guys, just so you know, this is why I will never ever have a Lambo right here. This is me trying to get out of a Lambo after 22 years of military breaking my body right here, guys.
That also how you get out of bed in the morning?
That's almost how I get out of bed in the morning also. That's exactly it. So there you go, guys. That's why I will never have a Lambo, no matter how much I make in this space. Never, ever will I have a Lambo. Big breaking news here from BlackRock. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF average daily volume is more than all 500 ETFs introduced in the 2023 era combined. The total of all 500. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF crushed them all. So not surprising. It's the number one performing asset in investment history. Why would its ETF also not follow suit, right? So there's Larry Fink going, I knew it. Bitcoin, baby. He's right now going, how much can I make off of ETF on Ethereum? That's what he's thinking right there. Investors encouraged to consider the unthinkable. We just talked about this on the FOMC, rate hike, rate pause, and what we're going to see, rate cuts. Investors are being encouraged to consider the unthinkable. No Fed rate cuts in 2024. Guys, let's talk about this for a second. Oh, nope, that's a duo cam. Hey, Shadefly, how you doing, bro? OC, let's get him in here too, because we want to see OC, and I don't know why it's not flipping over to that.
Probably not being here yesterday, man.
That's why. There we go. There we go. So let's talk about this for a second here, guys. We've got this idea going on that, hey, continued rate cuts, little 25 basis point, right? Over and over and over. What if January 31st comes along and we get old Jerome Powell, old J Powell, as Tom Crown says, he comes out and he goes, all right, look, here's the deal, guys. We have a lot of indicators coming out that inflation can be coming back up, and we do not want to cut too early. It is very likely that we don't see any rate cuts this year. If he comes out and says anything hawkish like that, where he uses the word it's unlikely or the likelihood is low or anything in the realm related to cutting rates, what happens to the markets? Let's discuss that, because that's a real possibility and we could see an absolute pullback. I mean, let's not forget, and we'll show it on the TA here, we've got some key resistance or support levels, CME gaps, stuff like that need to go back and get tested anyways. This would be that opportunity that stuff happens. What's your guys' thoughts on this? What happens with J Powell on the 31st of January coming up here in about 2 weeks? What happens with that? What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the last, I'll say, couple, reports before the holidays, really before Christmas, we're actually not trending in the right direction. So do I think he comes on and says, "Hey, like, we still have some work to do?" Yeah, I think that's likely. Are we gonna have a massive pullback? I don't know for crypto per se, only because there has been a little bit of divergence between the Nasdaq and crypto lately, and I think that's because mainly news driven. But the traditional markets, if you're talking about the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, yep, I think they're due for a pullback, and that's based on lining it up with what you see on the charts. Also, right? They're very, very high, getting near some all-time highs, and any kind of hawkish move or any kind of hawkish news could really cause a pullback in those markets. So, and I have one of the things I have been noticing, and that was more so before the holidays, is like it seems like this movement between back and forth between crypto and the Nasdaq. It almost seems like they're kind of going back and forth, where money is kind of rolling from one to the other as news comes out. So that'd be something to keep an eye on personally. In terms of the crypto market, I'm not sure it's going to have a massive impact on the crypto market. That's just my own take on that one.
Okay, OC.
Well, I do believe that it could be going south, but for both of those. In fact, we'll see up ahead my analysis on Bitcoin. We just broke a little channel that we have going on daily, and the next target that I'm looking at, and this is specifically for Bitcoin, is 37, and then finally somewhere around 35. So, okay, so I do see a possible pullback. I wish for that pullback because it is not going to be something crazy, especially also on the traditional markets. That usually is going to indicate us that we are in a healthy market as long as we don't start breaking some key supports. Because remember, like an uptrending market is a series of higher highs and higher lows. So I believe it's time for a little bit of a rest. So I do believe that that pullback is well needed and also well deserved, and I'm hoping for that to happen. I mean, I'm not that bearish, but I would like to see it because that will indicate for a more healthier economy overall.
Nice. Yeah, one thing that I will point out is that treasury bond yields have been dropping down also. The demand for treasury bonds are coming down, and that is that safe harbor that a lot of people put money to. If those rates are coming down, that means that there's not a lot of demand for them. Right now, people have bought pretty much what they're going to buy. So I think with these rate cuts going on and that staying where it's at, that we might still see some people that are in that risk off environment. I don't know that he's going to be too hawkish. I think that this first one, he might be waiting to weigh out and see how this supply and demand and inflation goes. Because right now, we're seeing China in disinflation. And that's what happens when your economy is truly wrecked. And we're nowhere near that. So in relative comparison, we're still looking pretty strong. So yeah, I appreciate you guys' feedback. Let's go ahead and jump in and finish out this news, unless you guys got anything to wrap up in that last minute
Oh yeah,
comments.
I don't have anything to
very
wrap
very
up.
quick.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, OC.
A couple of couple of like 1 or 2 months ago, I was reading some news and making some investigations from my tinfoil hat army over on back in the day. And what I was looking at is what is that 30-year bond money is going at. So I do see, or I do sell, like for example, other countries like China selling those bonds and actually holding at actual cash, like US dollar cash. So despite there's not much interest, I mean, the big buyers, which are countries and institutions, they're changing those for cash. So that for me tells me that they're preparing for the immediate short-term market volatility and just getting rid of the long-term movement there.
Yeah, absolutely. Trade Fly, last second comment. Go ahead.
Oh, no big comments, man. I was just gonna pass it to you to give some shout outs to the chat, man. I feel like we've been slacking on that today. We got a lot of big players in the chat. Let's say what's up.
Let's give the people a shout out. Let's do that. Who we got here? We got Alex O Crypto in here, of course. We got Mark Dutch in the house. French Toaster's in here. Always love to see French Toaster. Someone said give a wrench to Wrench Toaster. That would be Peninsula's, which is Indie Rock Crypto. So shout out to Indie Rock Crypto, good friend of the show here. Love that dude. Dave Digital in the house in here. Who else we got? We got Gia S in here, I believe. Did I see her earlier in here? Eric Wallen, Eric Browning, Investing Bros in the house. What's up, Eric? They get the horn. They get the horn. The bros in here. That's right. Yeah, who else do you see there? Mr. J, Bedredden, Give him a shout
Mark
out there. Take
Dutch.
the trade fly.
Let's see. Yeah, Mark Dutch. Got your boy in there, ZTS. I think I saw Gia. Who else? Alexandria. G. Eric Browning. Eric Wallen.
Oh, Alexander
All
G. Yep.
kinds of people in there. David Brumbelow. Hope I'm pronouncing
A
that one
lot of the
right.
people that were in the spaces last night for Billy Goat
Yep.
Tales. If you guys
That is
missed
true.
that great conversation last night talking about rarity, if you guys don't watch that on Tuesdays, you're missing something great. It is one of the most beautiful communities I've seen in crypto. It's a breath of fresh air in comparison to what we dealt with for the past summer and fall in the crypto space. All the drama and the like high school antics of locker room children. Breath of fresh air over there with the crypto in the crypto space with Billy Goat Tales every Tuesday, and follow us over there right there on X, and you'll see when we're going to be dropping in and talking in that, or at least listening in, because sometimes it's just great to hear FYP, as Crypto Billy always says, FYP, find your people.
Find your people.
Those are my people over there. So let's go ahead and what's that?
Gia was lurking. Drew, Louie, they're coming out of the woodwork now. They want to get a little shout out, so I'll give it to you. There it is.
There you go. Give them shout. Give them shouts. Let's go. Who?
Ninja Glock.
Who? Oh yeah, Ninja Glock in the house. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the news and wrap this out. Looking back here on X, guys. America First, guys. If you guys have not seen this video, we talked yesterday about Ramaswamy. I think that he was going to be trying to link up with Trump to be VP. Well, let's check this out and see if I got sound here.
Thank you.
Yep. So I want to show you guys. I want you to listen. They're saying VP. Listen to this.
Thank you. Wow, how was that? Pretty good, right? That was pretty good, and he's a fantastic guy, and he's really, he's got something that's very special, because he started off with a Zippo, and he ended up very strong. He did a great job. I was actually surprised when he called, because he was doing well, and it's an honor to have his endorsement. He's going to be working with us, and he'll be working with us for a long time.
So there you go. That words have meaning, right? Those little squiggly characters, those are called letters. Letters form words. Words have meaning. That is what we're seeing right here. I think when Trump says, and he's going to be working with us for a very long time, I think we're going to see the hero of crypto moving in as the VP on Trump. If you guys didn't see the Iowa caucus, Trump was double any other Republican candidate out there. And that is when Ramaswamy dropped out and said, okay, I get it. I'm done. I'm not going to be able to compete with this. Everyone else said, no, we're still running forward. He dropped and said, I endorse Donald Trump. And now it looks like he may be the VP. So we may have a possibility of a candidate team that one is very pro crypto that can tell the other person, hey, you take care of other policies, I'll take care of crypto regulation. Not a bad thing. So of course we just got to keep him off of X. Like, please stop posting, guy.
He's been a good boy lately.
He has. He's maybe someone took his stuff and changed all of his passwords on him. I don't know. Let's get into what else we got here. Chinese measure of the economy. I was just talking about this earlier about the Chinese economy. Its longest, it had its biggest, a measure of economy-wide prices marked its longest slide since 1999, underscoring deep deflationary pressures that are weighing on the world's second largest economy. Yeah, China's not doing well, guys. I told you guys that when all this stuff was coming out, this FUD on BRICS. I said, guys, China's not doing as good as these articles make them out to be. They're in trouble. They're all in big trouble. As bad as the United States is doing, we are still leagues, heads and shoulders above some of the other world economies out there. So, and then lastly, right there, guys, this is going to play out on price increase on goods. Egypt pushed ahead with an increase in transit fees through the Suez Canal this week. So that all the goods coming through into Europe, they've raised the price. So now not only are the shipping containers more expensive, the time to get there more expensive, which means the shipping cost is higher. Now the fees are also going to be higher. Just more things stacking in on top of that inflation there. So That is what I have there. Let's jump in here really fast. I'm just going to, so you guys can shake your head and just be disgusted at the rich and powerful of in politics. Sam Bankman-Fried's parents are seeking a dismissal of the FTX crawlbacks. Just so you know, the court has ordered that Sam Bankman-Fried's parents got insider information that FTX was going down. They pulled their money out. They are now ordering a clawback from a lawsuit from FTX on the parents because it's now a entity separate from Sam Bankman-Fried. They sued to get that money back from the parents. Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried said that the lawsuit is seeking to capitalize on the sheer fact that they were parents of the former FTX CEO. I just want to point out, if I had a company if my son, ZTS Rhythm, had a company specializing in crypto gaming tokens, and he told me, hey, we're about to go bankrupt, one, he would absolutely tell me that they're about to go bankrupt. And two, I would pull every single penny I could out of that before it happened. Don't think that that's not what happened here. Okay, guys. The parents of the former FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, are seeking to have FTX's lawsuit against them dismissed, rejecting claims that they knew about the problems at the crypto exchange and knowingly benefited from misconduct at the firm. So, yeah, get them. Get those people down with them. They look. You had insider info. We're one by one. We should find all these people in the political world that are operating on this special knowledge, special wisdom to make money, and they should all getting hammered. Nancy Pelosi.
Insider trading.
Yeah.
Let's say it, please.
Someone on Twitter yesterday posted, if I'm in a Boeing aircraft, when the door blows off the side of it and I open up my phone, put in my noise canceling headphones so I can't hear the child next to me screaming and crying, and go into my Boeing app on Robinhood, my Robinhood app, and put in a put call to sell Boeing. If I did that while inside of a Boeing aircraft that just had a mechanical fault, is that insider trading? And I thought that was very, very well played. So
wisdom, my friend. Wisdom.
Yeah. Is it insider trading if you're sitting inside the failing aircraft to put in your trade? So
not looking great for Boeing, man. That's two major incidents in the past few years. I mean, it's not looking good.
It's not.
I mean, I've done a lot of research on that. That's kind of my world in aerospace, and we are bringing people over from Boeing that are no longer wanting to be with those guys.
I can imagine.
So,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Guys, here's the headline today. IRS steps back. You guys remember that $10,000 rule? If you move, make, buy, sell, receive more than $10,000 in any transaction. By the way, this played hell on the decentralized exchanges because there's no way that they can do this, right? And this was very, very, very bad. I told you guys this is horrible for the space. You had to report within 15 days or it was a felony crime. IRS stepped back from that. That is no longer a thing. They are exempting taxes over $10,000 from obligations. And why this is they are awaiting, real simple. I'm just going to bring this up here. The decision follows a revision of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act by the U.S. Treasury Department and the IRS, according to a January 16 announcement from the IRS. On January 1st, a law requiring all businesses to report cryptocurrency transactions over $10,000 came into effect, but the tax regulator has now stepped back from enforcing this rule for the time being. They said at the time, digital assets are not required to be included when determining whether cash received in a single transaction, a two or more related transactions, meets the reporting threshold. They said that they are waiting for there to be better regulation. It also allows the public to comment on how the regulation should be laid out. And they said that the Treasury intend to issue proposed regulations concerning digital assets, but did not specify when they would be introduced. So big news for crypto, big win for crypto, because this was absolutely going to devastate miners. It was going everybody was going to be really screwed on this. So IRS said it's not possible for us to run all these people down. First of all, we don't even know who these people are. Sometimes we know that it exists. It's on the blockchain. We can see it. But in the decentralized world, DeFi, this would have killed DeFi straight up. Right? That's just the bottom line. So What are your guys' thoughts on this? Is this a good thing? Does this mean that this may actually push? Look, if you want to get this IRS money coming in for tax money, you better get some regulation in place because the IRS is not going to play on this ball field until there's regulation for the rules of how to play the game. What's your guys' thoughts? So
Yeah, I think this was their attempt to get some sort of regulation and kind of get in on those funds. I think they quickly realized that it wasn't going to play out the way that they thought. And yes, this is a good thing because they have backed down or backed off of their stance. So we'll see what comes, later. I'm sure eventually they're going to figure this out and figure out how they're going to get their money because Uncle Sam always gets his. But that's
of course he
you
does.
know,
Of course he does.
it's we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future, honestly. In terms of short term, this is a good thing.
Yep. OC, thoughts?
Yes, let me ask you a question first, because I need to get something very clear. Did this law pass and they're just not enforcing it, or did they
Yes.
just backed up? All right, so
Yes.
there's
This was
something happening in
passed
my
for
country.
January 1st, and on January 16th, they amended the law to not include digital assets until regulations in place. So
All right, I believe that this is gonna be one thing of now you see me, now you don't, like a magician trick, because that happens a lot in my country. Like for example, on pandemic, when our president said and promised there won't be any other new taxes or anything to affect our pockets. And our pandemic, we did not get any support, but new taxes came into play. And what happened with those taxes? They were passed a long time ago when nobody was looking, or when the revolution, or like that wasn't that important, not causing that much noise. And then whenever they needed, they just decided to enforce it. So just to make sure that that is a law, is just not being enforced. So I believe
yes.
that for one part, it is kind of like a warning. And we as a society need to keep an eye on that. If you are from the states and you don't like the law, just make through the correct and lawful routes, make yourself heard. But I believe that's going to happen just like in Mexico. Like, all right, we're not enforcing it, chill out, but when it's needed, hey, remember that law? Well, then here it is, take it.
Yep. Absolutely, man. We'll see how that goes. And it's, hopefully it drives regulation. That's my goal here. Let's get into the charts. Guys, taking a look here right out the gate. Let's take a look at the Dixie, the DXY. I told you guys this morning that info coming in on the retail sales rate. We did get a pump up and we ran right into the 50-week exponential moving average. Is this a weekly? Is this a daily? Let's check. This is a weekly. Yes, the 50-week exponential moving average there, getting that rejection cleanly on it. I said that this would be a target for this when we were down here on the DXY. I think I was on TA Talk maybe, or maybe it was on Trade Wars. I'm not sure. When I was over there on their show last week, I may have mentioned this, not the trading one that we did, but the one where I was a guest. So yeah, taking a look here, we're getting that rejection right there on that DXY. Hopefully we can see a pullback on that and start to get some money in real fast. I'm going to jump in here, show you what's going on with the Dow Jones futures. It's now getting a move up today. ES1 getting a move up in the past hour, which is going to be your S&P mini, and then NASDAQ getting a little move up. But as far as stocks opening today, everything kind of weak, very minor run up here. That's okay with NVIDIA. It can do that because it ran so freaking hard yesterday on the market. So AMD did too, if you guys didn't see that. But getting a nice pullback here today. So and then let me jump into Bitcoin and then we'll start passing this around. Bitcoin, guys, still trading it in sideways here. I told you yesterday that around lunchtime we would probably get a move up and very likely be coming up towards the dynamic reactor, depending on when it got up there. I said we do have the trend line up here. We'd have to break in through both of those to get any higher. So I was looking at a rejection of about 43,600. Let me go ahead and mark that here. 43,600 is what I called yesterday at the end of the show right there. Bam. Well, you can see that we came within about $30 of it here. I guess this came up to 43,569. So 43,007, 43,000 370. There we go. I couldn't get it out there. So almost at the point that we were looking for to hit there, about looking there about $30 off there. So right now, guys, if we take a look at what we're doing, we're reconsolidating back on this delta line of the predictive ranges here. And that is what I'm going to be watching. We do have a zero line right here, so we could get that ribbon bounce. Everything's kind of cooled off, which is a good thing, but we still have a lot more room that we could go down. And lastly, before I hand this over, I do want to remind everyone that we did close out that CME gap perfectly right there yesterday. You can see that was the red box there that I had on there, the red T box. That is what we came up and wicked into, getting that rejection off the dynamic reactor, hitting the top of the box, closing out that CME gap. So this one's closed. It's out of play. We now have to watch this one down here, and let's go ahead and extend it out because this one is the one that matters right now. This is a CME gap that dates back here to 3 December that we still have not filled, and I do believe we are going to come down and close that out. Bottom of that coming in at 39,270. That is still in the playbooks, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but something that you should know. So TradeFly, I'll kick it over to you, and then we'll go to OC.
All right, I'm going to revisit the NASDAQ since we talked about that yesterday. I gave you a key area to look at. It was at about 16,725. I gave you that line. Reason I was looking at that line is, one, it was resistance previously when we were getting up near the all-time high. And then you could see it was acting as support. And I said, hey, if it breaks through that line, you could see a pretty decent move to the downside. Now, remember, NASDAQ, it's very large. So a 1.4%, 1.5% move for the NASDAQ is pretty significant, actually. It came down and it is finding support right now in vicinity of the dynamic reactor. And that also lines up with one of the previous highs. So it had the all-time high. So we can kind of go back here and take a look at that on the daily, just so you know where I'm getting this from right here, right? So you see the wicks, but then you actually see where there was resistance in that area. So that's a key area for me to kind of keep my eye on. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see multiple touch points as resistance. So now we're finding support there, right? So there's a retest happening right now. So again, another significant area for us to keep an eye on. So I gave you that one yesterday. Told you how you could short if you wanted to. And let's go back here. Now we're finding support right there at that area. So pretty key area. Again, I'd keep an eye on it, right? So we want to kind of keep an eye on the prime oscillator, which is essentially RSI, and see what we start getting off of that. But right now, you can see the RSI is really just kind of trending down and right. So we are getting into the oversold area. So maybe we might find some support here. You are seeing some bottoming indications on the MVP oscillator. So keep an eye right here, right at this support level at about 16,586. So that's what I got for the NASDAQ.
Nice. OC, let's kick it over to you, bro. And then I'm going to be coming back to do some more TA.
Absolutely. So on on Bitcoin, very quick, just to shout out also Kafib that I was talking with him about these channels. Look at where we are measuring this channel from. All right, so this is very important. Remember that I was saying that we could be having a little bit of a pullback. Well, then look at that. We also have this secondary channel, and we just broke it, right? I mean, and we are not making any movements back into that channel. I mean, it's still a little bit early to call that. Nonetheless, if we are not able to break within, I will say, the next upcoming week, I believe that we could be going for that retest at the bottom of the channel and then completing the movement to the downside. How far to the downside we could be going? Well, then another thing to point out is that we are technically below the zero line, and we have a bunch of divergences along with a peak seeker up there. So the first thing I was looking at, it is the dynamic reactor in this other trend line. That, let me show you where is that trend line coming from. It's coming from all the way back here, all the way to January 23rd. And as you can see, it's been working as a very nice support and then as a very nice resistance. So my next area, it's going to be somewhere around here, 37, 35, 30, yeah, 37, 35, somewhere around these areas, if we are bouncing off this secondary channel that we're making here. I mean, we could still go somewhere around 33, 32, which without losing the channel. And yes, we will be below the dynamic reactor, but I don't believe that will actually be mattering that much. It'd be something like a short-term bearishness that we did have somewhere around here. So yeah, that's what I got on Bitcoin.
Cool. I like it. I like it. Good levels there. Guys, you know what time it is. You know what time it is.
Oh,
It's time for some link
marine
marines. Here
time.
we go. Guys, taking a look at Chainlink
Hoorah.
here. Taking a look at Chainlink here. We got a beautiful touch back here on right there on 12 January. We got a beautiful touch right here on the golden pocket, and we got our bounce from there. We came back up. We came back to retest that dynamic reactor because we got through it. We had a trend line here, auto printed trend line from the chart prime indicators. And it actually, if you take a look at when it actually printed, let me go back here on the replay. You will see how this printed out and how it changed. And let the indicators load up. There we go. You can see that we had one over here. We broke it. And now it said, okay, we now have a trend line. That's when this thing printed. These are 4-hour candles. We get the rejection here. It punches up through. It breaks the platinum pocket. It pulls back in and it gets this multi-candle retest of the trend line there. Let's pause that right there. You can see right there, once it punched through and it grabbed that beautiful retest of the dynamic reactor for its final time. It had a retest, successful retest and candle close above the trend line. It had a retest of the dynamic reactor, printed the strong indicator print here. We bounced off the 0 line. We had turned green on the RSI primed, and the signal line was still green. This was a beautiful entry that you could have entered in on here. Come here with the long entry, put it on that trend line. Put your stop loss below your dynamic reactor, a major support bounce point, and then shoot this up to the 887. This is how I would trade this. Now, let's get this into where we currently are, and you'll see how this is looking right now. Guys, this is how you trade with indicators. This is how you trade with chart prime. This is how you use these key levels and confluence from multiple things here. Right now, Chainlink sitting at about $16.27, looking very bullish still, in my opinion. However, like I said, that target at the 887 coming in at about $16.80, going to be a key level to watch for rejection. That will be the platinum pocket. What I would like to see is if we get up here and we get that bounce off of that, obviously, our trend assistant is going to be turning green. I would like to see the trend assistant coming into line with the 786 as we start to retest the 786 and make this our new trade level for trade range. Once we do that, you're just going to come over here. You're going to grab yourself a regression trend tool right there. You're going to grab that thing, and we're just going to place it inside. It's not going to do it right now, but we'll place it inside this platinum pocket. And if we're ranging there, that would be how I would trade. How I would trade that off of the 786 up to the 887, back and forth. So that's what I have on Chainlink. TradeFly, we got time for about 2 more. So if you want to knock out 2 and OC can knock out 2, and then we'll see where we're at on time, bro.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'll give you the daily Matic update here, and then I'll pass it over to OC for one of his. This one's going to be quick because we haven't had a lot of movement here from Matic. You can see right here, consolidation score is a 10, right? So that's one of the things that we kind of talked about is it looks like it's consolidating, and we're kind of getting wedged in right now between this level at about 83 cents and 86 cents, right? That's the 0.382. So that kind of lines up. And just on top of it, what do you see? The dynamic reactor. So kind of adding to what you would see as a potential area of resistance. Coming down to the oscillators, looking at those, you can see kind of a trend down and right overall. But what we would like to see right now is this right here start to trend kind of up and right. So see if I can draw a little bit for you here. Nope, not going to let me. But I'd like to see this area right here start trending up and right. And then that would give me a little bit more comfort of potentially some upside movement. And then the MVP oscillator, you like to see that kind of flip as well and maybe see or print a bottoming indication here. So right now, consolidating, I'll give you some key areas to look at. Obviously, I talked about the support and resistance currently, but if we do break those 2 areas, obviously coming down to the 0.5 makes a lot of sense. That'll be at 79 cents. And then if we do break to the upside, then you're going to be looking at about 95 cents. So honestly, consolidation, I can't give you a guesstimation of we're going up or down, what I think we're going to do here, because there's nothing that's very clear. So just look at those upside and the upside and the downside targets here. That would be what I got for Matic.
I do have something on that real fast that I'm going to show
Yeah.
here. If you guys take a look here, we do have a looking at the liquidity chart here, guys. There is a level sitting here at about 89.3 cents. Nice big yellow bar up there on Matic. So you can see down here there is a few down here in the 87 cent and the 87 to 86 cents, but this really strong one sitting at 89 cents right now. So keep an eye on that level right there. If you really want to get into it, though, we could get all the way up to 90 cents up here to clean out several of these before coming back down, which would
make a lot of
be
sense.
yes, it would, and also this one down here at this 89 cents would be putting it back in line with retesting the support levels back here, or previous resistance levels back here,
Yeah, the resistance.
and retest that range. Yep.
0.236. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. That's a good call.
All right, you got another one, or are you just going to do Matic?
Oh, I was going to pass it to OC, go back and forth.
OC, go for it, brother.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Cardano. So Cardano, let's see what we got. And by the way, guys, this lancing here, don't alerts. Don't confuse them with support and resistances, just to make that point clear. All right. So previously, we were talking about the rounded top pattern here and a possible upcoming dead cat bouncing here, right? So it seems like we are right there making that dead cat bounce. Let me clear this up for a little bit and also just get rid for a little second of all my spaghetti. Here we go, the beautiful rounded top, and then the possible dead cat bounce. There's something ongoing. There's something else going on here, guys. And I'm going to be showing you a pattern that I don't believe that I ever talked on the Piper Academy. So bear with me. And before we dive into that new pattern, also let me show you that we have a couple of trend lines going on. This one that is basically so I'm looking at these areas for a possible and then also be now between these other lines in here. All right, let's go to the new pattern that I have for you guys. So this pattern is what I call, and bear with me here, the goose head. All right, let me show you what do I mean, and that's why I have this other lines in here. Let me zoom in so we can see a little bit better here. So I'm gonna zoom in very quickly, and also just for a second, make my oscillator a little bit bigger. Look at this. Look at this there, the new rim that is looking like a goose head. All right. So we can see the neck, we can see probably the eye and the little peak. All right. So usually what I'm looking for on the goose head is that its peak, it's flat as or flatter. Nonetheless, this one it is or it was a little bit flat in there. And now let's see the result of that. Right here on Cardano, we can see a DNA pattern coming up with which we have that goose head. We usually have that double top pattern. Usually on Bitcoin goes for a higher top like this one, but here we have this kind of like double top pattern. So let's take a look at the next goose head just for a good measurement. Here we go. We have again that goose head playing out here. This little eye, this little pig flat, and the neck. And what we had that double top pattern playing out in here, right? So let's see what's happening right now. I know that it is kind of like almost at the end of that goose head. Nonetheless, look at that. We have that goose head here. And what are we having? We're having some support. So at this point, what I'm expecting is a possible double top scenario somewhere around where my alarm is or my alert is. All right. Let me clear this up for a little bit more and just back up or back this one up with some support on resistance. At this point, I'm going to be throwing up my order blocks. And remember that my alert, it's based on my order block. And look at that. That dead cat bounce, it's also backed up by an order block. And this goose head, it could be also backed up by this same order block right here. High order block with money flow POC. And then also this blue center folding line that we have going on there. So that's what I got on Cardano, looking for a possible double topping here for a completion on a dead cat bounce and a possible next scenario for the bearish moves all the way somewhere around 0.47. If we keep going and we break through this high zone, I believe that we're gonna get back at previous highs. But so far,
And
things looking a little bit slightly more bearish. Yep.
that high zone is sitting about about 60 cents, you said? 59, 60 cents?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Take a look, bro.
57, 57. Let's see.
60 cents. You got a major liquidity line here. Yep. So major, as a matter of fact, it's the biggest one on the chart right now for Cardano. So it's sitting right there about 60 cents. So there you go. So,
Why do people put so much liquidity at resistance? I'm not understanding.
Because those could be orders, bro. Those could be orders for shorting. So they could be short orders at resistance. Yeah. Let's kick it back to you, TradeFly, and then I'll finish it out with my last bit. Yeah. Remember, orders can be buy or sells. This is this is on Binance. So I'm looking at trading exchanges. Most likely it's leverage trades. So, and I do believe that the liquidity zones that pick up all that data are actually picking up that leverage also. So if it's like a $200 at 10x, it's showing up as a $2,000 worth of liquidity.
So I could be learning something live right now, because I always looked at that as the actual area that the trade would get liquidated, not that they would be opening the trade.
Well, remember a stop loss or a liquidity hit. They're all orders. When you get liquidated, it's not just a liquidation; it's a sell order,
though, right?
No. That's just that is a consolidation of orders in that zone. So
yeah. All right, that's the way I was looking at it. I just want to make sure, because I was like,
liquidation. Because if you look at a liquidation, it's an automated sell of your your trade. So yeah, they're all orders. All of it's orders. Yep.
Cool. I'm not high. That's good.
You're not high.
Right, so yeah. All right, looking at Solana, I got a key area for you to look at right now. All right, so we are just getting over this little trend line right here. All right, and potentially coming down for a retest of that trend line in confluence with the 0.236, which is at about $98. All right, so keep an eye on that. So that's an area I would highlight if you guys are looking at SOL and a potential for getting into a long entry. However, we are getting into this area. We're getting close to maybe an overbought, right? But what that means is we could kind of come back down. It might be what we need to come back down, do that retest, and then actually reset, which would be even better for us if we were looking at the RSI. Looking at the MVP oscillator, not getting a whole lot from that. It is trending up and right. Hopefully, that continues that trend up and right. But coming down to the hourly, I want to look at it just a little bit closer. Let's go ahead, pull the hourly up. Here we go. All right. So you can see it is literally just riding that trend line right now. So it's retesting that area. I would say the indicators here, because it moves a little bit faster, would probably indicate that we might see a little bit of downside here. But let's see what plays out here. Once this one prints, what we would like to see is this actually to start bending back up. And that happens sometimes when you have price movement moving up and right. I've noticed that the indicator will stay up towards the upper half of this area, and you see this kind of like this go kind of up and down as it pushes up and right? Because when we start pushing up and right, price action wise, sometimes the indicators are just kind of riding that action up and right as well. So you can actually see that with the MVP oscillator right now as well. It's staying up here in the high zone. So that means for me that there is the potential that it could move up and right. Here's the catch though. We got to see what the rest of the market does, because Bitcoin obviously is daddy. If the crypto market is moving down, then we're probably going to lose a support level. But if we do, and I am struggling with this, how about a right click, Dan? I got it. Boom. All right. So
good job.
If we do see some movement, thanks, man. I'm learning. All right. If we move up and right, key areas, there's a couple key areas we look for, but I would say about 115 would be pretty significant. You see these two big peaks here. And you also see resistance here. I mean, it's all over the place, right? So very key area. I say at about 115, you'll probably see an initial rejection there at a minimum. And I'm always kind of looking for that rejection for like maybe a 1 to 2% pullback, and then for potential continuation to the upside. So obviously your high side's 126, but short term 115, keep an eye on that. And then also down here for support, if we do fall through the 0.236, as well as we break down from that trend line, you might get a quick catch right here in the area of about 95, since we've kind of used that as support and resistance previously. So there you go. There's some key areas for Solana. What you got?
Yeah, looking here at the thing, just so you're tracking, we have $2.41 million in liquidation leverage at
Where's that at?
108.43.
108.
Yeah, that's pretty substantial, right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
this could be a really key rejection area back down, and there's not a lot in here. If you look, the next one's like all the way up here at 110.66, and the other one, I mean that one's small, but there's a pretty good size one down here at 103. So just something to keep an eye on there. So
yeah. So
we had
went ahead and
someone
highlighted
asked
on the chart as well. It makes sense.
Yep.
Definitely
Someone
makes
asked
sense.
in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and drop that on here. This is the link to that chart. They said, what is that chart? Drew said it. And I just want to make sure that if that's what you're talking about, I just dropped the link in there. That is the link to that. It is the liquidation heat map. And really it's an order map is what it is. So you guys can see this here, looking at these levels here
just for SA on that, I think that is Binance specific. So if you want to get a total one, I think CoinSoto has one that is not specific to the exchange.
Well, this one's Bybit. You can get Bybit, Binance, OKX, BingX.
Right.
You can look at whatever exchange you're looking at. Yeah. So
yeah, they're all exchange specific. That's all I was pointing out. Like if you want one that's like total, you could do. I think it's CoinSoto has one. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. Yeah, drop that link too. We'll get it out to the people. That's what we're all about here on Piper Academy, guys. We're all about bringing you guys knowledge so that you guys can do your own research with what we teach you, what we show you, and then see if you can make some money in this crazy world of the market. So, TradeFly, OC guy, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Give your 2 cents of out to the people, and let's get this thing out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I am looking forward to doing it again tomorrow. If you guys got anything from today's episode, go ahead, give us a like and subscribe. We would truly appreciate that. And with that, TradeFly is out.
OC, what you got, brother?
Not much, just coming back from the dead. Basically, just to stay around here a little bit more, to hang out with the boys today. And guys, thank you so much for being around. I really appreciate seeing you here. And also, hello to everybody that said me hello. I didn't have my window chat there. So, other than that, stay safe. Piper, turning it back to you, brother.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. If you guys do not know, down in the link below, there's a link to the Discord for Chart Prime. You can join that Discord for free. And today, here in about 27 minutes, OC guy and I will be doing TA talk, continuing on showing some trade setups over there and stuff for the community. That is open to the public every single Wednesday. It's TA talk in the Chart Prime Discord. It's open to the public. So go ahead and click that link. Come over there and check us out. And you know what? We'll be over there doing some more trade setups. But if not, we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Piper Academy with TradeFly, OC Guy, myself, bringing you guys the news, the markets, the economics, and the charts, everything that you need to have knowledge. Why? Because knowledge is profit. We'll catch you guys till then. Trade safe. And as always, use a stop loss.
That was awesome, dude!